welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Cassandra. I have a PhD in Vineyard and Wine Science, and on this channel I share what it's like to live and work in wine country. So currently I've been observing the shelter in place. As of March 15th, Napa Valley was listed as a shelter in place county, and I am considered an essential worker because I work with an agricultural product, wine. So I'm working 4 days a week now as opposed to 5. And due to having a little bit more time at home, I've been able to go through some of my older content and find videos that I haven't crafted into anything. I feel like it's really relevant to release the content of this video at this time because due to quarantine and shelter in place, there's been a huge increase in grocery store alcohol sales. So it seems like when people are doing their essential shopping, they're picking up a little treat for themselves. And a large part of that has actually been the hard seltzer beverages. But we are here for wine. And in this video, I actually took you guys with me to Target to look at some different grocery store wines, and I feel like it's perfect right now to talk about that because some of you may be out doing your essential shopping and you want to pick up a bottle just to add something special to your day since you're staying at home. It's kind of nice to have that little something to look forward to. And in this video, I'm just kind of going through the whole wine selection at Target here in the Napa Valley, and I also have a summary of a few wines that you can look for the next time that you are out at Target. So I hope this video is interesting and helpful, and in addition, I hope you're keeping safe and well. If you do enjoy this type of content, please let me know below because I found it really fun to create a wine-related video that is approachable for everybody. We all have grocery stores and most of them have wine sections, so why not enjoy what they have to offer? So I hope you enjoy and stay tuned to the end for my wine suggestions from your Target wine section. So I'm just going to point out a few wines that I like that are here in the Target wine aisle. I see some clearance wine, which is super exciting. So we've got some bubbles here. Actually, this Brut Cava, it's not bad. So dry bubbles, even though it's on the bottom of the shelf, it doesn't mean it's bad. What else do I like? Chandon Brut Rosé is nice. I love this brand in the collection. The label is just so pretty. I love modern art. Mom is a classic. For the Sophia wines, Sophia Coppola wines, I like the Brut Rosé. That's pretty much my favorite that I would go for. So you have a few brunchy kind of options. Some clearance rosé. Anything else? I don't drink a lot of rosé at the moment because it's winter. I go for dry reds. Alright, I'm immediately attracted to clearance wine. So 30% off of a red wine blend 2015 Joel got. That's a great deal. So it's only $10.48. I love that wine can go on clearance. I used to drink Apothic Red a lot when I first moved to California, but there's just so much wine here that it's just kind of overwhelming. But now they've come out with a whole bunch of different kinds. Oh, Gnarly Head, I used to drink that a lot as well. But there's just so much wine that I just feel bombarded. So I don't have, I try lots of new things. I don't tend to repurchase too often. There are a few, and perhaps that's another topic as well. But I love this Alamos Malbec. If you're just looking to try Malbec and branch out, that's a nice one. Price is great. I like this artwork. Prophecy. I feel like I've had the Sauvignon Blanc, but not this one. Here's another red on clearance. Mischievous at $6.98 a bottle. And some Robert Mondavi Private Selection Merlot at $7.99. They also have the Pinot, but let's see where this is sourced from. I like to look at the source when I'm picking out a wine. So, Acampo, I'm not sure, it's vented and bottled there, so they made it in Acampo and bottled it, but I'm not sure where the fruit comes from. California Coastal Vineyards. I don't know, I like looking for the location where it was grown, because some varietals best match certain locations in terms of climate and temperature. I used to also drink carnivore a lot when I moved to California. There's a bourbon barrel aged Cab Sauv by Robert Mondavi. I'm not really a big fan of wines that are aged in bourbon barrels because I feel like it makes it way too smoky. And 2017 was a pretty challenging harvest simply because there were fires here in Napa and even further north as well. So that can create a smoky aroma in the grapes. So sometimes I wonder with all these bourbon barrel aged wines whether it's a way to kind of cover smoky aroma in problematic harvests, but that's just speculation. This Castel del Poggio Moscato d'Asti. I guess it might not be d'Asti anymore since it just says Italy, that being a region in Italy. But I first started coming into my love of wine with this wine because I was at Olive Garden with my family and I ordered it. I love Pine Ridge. I love the tasting room, the winery, and this Chenin Blanc Viognier is extremely reasonably priced. It's tropical, it's refreshing, it has a slight effervescence to it, so you could do a brunchy type wine or just a nice first course wine with the salad. This label is absolutely beautiful, this color combination. I don't normally go for very charismatic labels, but that one really attracts me. I just love the pinks and purples. Those are the colors I like the most. They have some nice top shelf offerings here at Target. So Stag's Leap Wine Cellars, Artemis. So there's interesting between the Stag's S apostrophe Leap and then Stag's apostrophe S Leap Wine Cellars. Or perhaps that's for another vlog. Justin Paso Robles, I like that a lot. Good old Prisoner. I haven't had Prisoner since the 2015 vintage, but I think it's predominantly Zinfandel. Barefoot has a huge following, and people who I guess go to their social events are called barefooters. But it's obviously affordable. I love chocolate and wine pairing, and it may seem odd to pair a dry white wine with chocolate, but I had some white chocolates that were covered with milk chocolate, and I had it with this Chardonnay many years ago, and I thought it was pretty amazing. I also had some lemon white chocolate, and that was really nice too. When I was a new wine drinker, I used to drink Schmidt-Stone Riesling. I liked it at the time. And then this Chateau Saint Michel Riesling here, I had this paired with some chocolate that had an orange filling, and it was really good. I love chocolate and wine pairings. Wendy's actually located in Livermore, and they're known first for their Chardonnays, but they have a lot of other great offerings as well. And something else to try outside the Napa Valley if you're in wine country having vacation. They have this Ferrari Carano Fumé Blanc on clearance as well. And Fumé Blanc is Sauvignon Blanc that has had some oak aging on it, and that fumé means smoke. So it adds a little softness relative to some of those bright, acidic Sauvignon Blancs you might have had. Speaking of which, Robert Mondavi's winery is really known for the Fumé Blanc. I haven't had this wine, but I just love the label because I'm a scientist. So it's like the periodic table. I like Bogle, Old Vine Zinfandel. Old Vine Zinfandels were what I was drinking a lot of when I first moved to California, because I lived in the Central Valley and Lodi was very close, and that's what they're known for. I think I might take a chance and get this clearance wine. 2015. That was there's been a stretch of really amazing vintages for the last 9 years. And let's see, Palisades, small market called Palisades in Napa Valley. Okay, so their intention is to make red wines that are for people who are interested in $20 or less. Well, it's cellared and bottled in Napa. I'm not sure if the fruit is derived from Napa, since it just says California on the label. And alcohol at 13.9%, so that's actually on the lower side, which is very there's a lot of consumer interest for lower alcohol wines, so I'm going to take that home. So this is kind of a wine ramble, just pointing out ones I used to drink, ones I started out drinking when I was a new wine drinker, and just ones that you can try if you happen to be at Target and you really just need to get a bottle of wine. I hope this was helpful and interesting, and I think it'd be fun if I went to other grocery stores and did let's pick out some wines because I mean, the reality is not everybody lives in wine country, so just driving up to Prisoner and picking out a bottle of wine the way I can is just not feasible. But I think wine is for everybody, and just knowing you can go to your Target or your World Market or even Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has some good wine that has amazing prices. I think it's also very fun. I don't mind finding a very affordable wine that is also delicious. So maybe I can share more of those with you guys in the future. Okay, it's possible that your Target doesn't carry all of these wines, but hopefully you can have a little takeaway from the wines that I showed you in the video. But while I go through this list, chin chin, I'm having a little bit of Syrah. So this is Whip Smart Wine Country 2017, Near to the Wild Heart, and I picked this up in Sonoma County at a big store called Bottle Barn, and they have all things bottled. So this is from Syrah grapes grown in the Russian River Valley, and I basically bought all that they had. There were 2 bottles at the store, and I had one of them a few months ago, and the oak really packed a wallop. So some of the subtle nuances that I enjoy in a Syrah weren't there. A lot of times Syrahs that I enjoy kind of remind me of red Twizzlers, but I've hung on to this for a few more months, and now it's really kind of softening up and showing some of the varietal character. I've even had this open a day, and it actually improved upon opening. I feel like some of the fruit flavors have presented themselves more strongly. But I do have some wine suggestions for anybody who's doing their essential shopping at Target right now and want to pick up a bottle. And the retail for all of these is around $20 or under. So for the rosé and or sparkling fans, I would suggest the Sophia Brut Rosé, and Brut means dry. And this is from Francis Ford Coppola Winery, and it's a combination of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And I'm sure depending on what vintage is available, the proportions will change. But I love a rosé sparkling because typically you have Pinot in it, and with that it adds more of a berry character, whereas a Chardonnay based bubbly to me is more appley, brioche bread-y. And this is kind of the best of both worlds for an amazing price. So from this you get the fruit berry notes, and they're balanced in terms of acidity with that Chardonnay, which adds a little bit of creaminess. So I hope you enjoy that one. And then for white, one of my favorites, Pine Ridge Chenin Blanc Viognier blend. So I love the effervescence on this one. When you first open it, you see those little bubbles fizzle up, and it's so refreshing. You could have it with the first course, and it's interesting what the Chenin Blanc and the Viognier both add to this wine blend. So it's like you have the honey pear over here, and then you've got all these tropical sort of kiwi fruit notes, and they come together and create a really long finish. So I can't recommend that enough. And then for the red, I would suggest that Alamos Malbec from Mendoza, Argentina. And it's pretty intense. I am going to suggest another red that's a little less bold. So if you love dark, plummy berry notes, cocoa powder, and spices, if you're going to be grilling like a flank steak during your shelter-in-place time, this is the one you want to go for. For the sweet fans, the Castello del Poggio Moscato. So, as I mentioned, the first time I had this, I was barely 21. I was at Olive Garden with my family, and I liked Moscato. So I remember this distinctly. It is slightly effervescent as well, kind of like that Pine Ridge, but it has the classic musky muscat. And it's very peachy, slightly sweet, and I haven't had this in a really long time. I kind of want to revisit it now, but I don't really drink a lot of sweet wine. But I think on a warmer day, and some of you might be enjoying some warmer weather now, I feel like it would be a great option. And then one that I did not see at Target that has been on my wine rack so long is Klein Cellars Ancient Vine Zinfandel. So the first time I had this, I was in Texas, and I was a newbie in the wine industry. I had diverted my career from biology and ecology over towards the wine industry. And I won a raffle, and I won a bunch of booze, basically. And this 2007 Klein Ancient Vine Zinfandel was amongst those bottles. And since I've had that, I have bought it on repeat. It's reliably good. It's a Zinfandel that shows more of red fruit character, like strawberries. So if you're looking for a red that's not as intense, then I would go for this relative to that Malbec. But this one is made from 100-year-old vines, and they're all gnarly, and they have huge trunks, and they're just really like beautiful sculptures that decorate the landscape of Napa and Sonoma counties. So it has spicy notes. Zinfandel frequently does, but because these vines are older, the fruit they produce is very balanced. So I can't recommend that one enough. I will post all this information below in the description box, and I hope this assists you in some way during your shelter-in-place time. But be on the lookout for a semi-follow-up on this video, because I actually went to Grocery Outlet on the same day and made some wine purchases, and then I brought them home and I tasted the wine that I purchased in that video, the Got Cabernet Sauvignon, and I show you some of my purchases from 2020. To be notified when that video is available, hit the bell below for notifications, or you can just subscribe to hear more about wine country. And that being said, cheers from wine country.